doesn't get advertised but sells out every time in an African market. As a Nigerian that grew up eating garri right from childhood, the only two ways I know about consuming garri, it's either making of eba or what we call garri soakings. But interestingly, when I came to Ghana, I realized there's a special delicacy they use garri for, known as Garrifotor. So today, for the very first time, I'm going to be trying Garrifotor. I have known Garrifotor for a very long time, in fact as long as I have been in Ghana, but I have never tried it out before. I mean, I have never eaten it, neither have I prepared it. I hope this turns out to be really tasty. Let's dive straight into the cooking process. The star of this dish is our garri, aka cassava flakes. I sieved my garri because the texture of my garri wasn't fine enough, but if you have a fine texture of garri like this, you are good to go. The next ingredients will be our vegetables. I have my yellow bell pepper, red bell pepper, green bell pepper, and our onion. I chopped it according to my preferred size. Next is our tomato mix, which includes fresh tomato, pepper, ginger, garlic, and onion. After the mix was blended, I boiled it, or will I say I steamed it, to extract the excess moisture. That is how we got this consistency. Next is our tomato paste, and then we have our protein, and for this we'll be making use of chicken. So feel free to use any protein of your choice. We'll begin by deboning our chicken and cutting them in little bites. This will be the best way to enjoy your protein in your Garrifotor. I carefully deboned the chicken, and trust me, I did not throw that bone away. I dealt with that bone. I ate it. Yes, we crushed bone over here.
I was born feeding the dust. I built my reputation, fought for recognition. I was raised an underdog, would take any evasion, and without hesitation. I was born feeding the dust. I built my reputation, fought for recognition. I was raised an underdog, would take any evasion, without hesitation. I was born feeding the dust. I built my reputation, fought for recognition.
So we'll begin by stir frying our chicken because we want that crunchy effect. But if you don't want the crunchy effect, you can leave it that way because our chicken has already been steamed. We'll be using the oil we used in frying our chicken to start up our base for our Garrifotor. This oil will help build and intensify the flavor of this dish because it has been flavored from the chicken. I began by frying our tomato paste, and I carefully did this on low heat. I fried it until the tangy taste of the tomato paste was no longer there.
I was born feeding the dust. I built my reputation, fought for recognition. I was raised an underdog, would take any evasion, and without hesitation.
After tasting it and realizing that the tangy taste was no longer there, I now added my tomato mix. I started stirring to incorporate with the tomato paste and ensure that they fry together. Please ensure it's on low heat because you don't want your sauce base to get burnt. The taste of our Garrifotor is highly dependent on this stew base. This stew base will tell if your Garrifotor is going to taste great or not. Along the line, I decided to add our Miss Cookie spices mix for stew, and guys, this just lifted the taste of this sauce to another level. It was already very delicious, but with the inclusion of this spice, see the way I'm advertising this spice as though I was paid to do, but I wasn't paid to do this advert. I added my seasoning cube and I kept on stirring to combine.
I was born feeding the dust.
added the chicken, stirred and covered for the chicken to absorb all the juice and all the flavor from the sauce, and also for the chicken to release some of the flavor into the sauce. At this point, you can add a little bit of water or meat stock to loosen the sauce. It's almost time for us to add our garri, so we'll prep it by wetting it with a little bit of water, mix thoroughly and set aside. I guess the reason why this is done is just to soften up the garri a bit, because we know that garri is really crunchy. But when next I'll prepare garrifotor, instead of adding water to the garri, I'm going to make my sauce base very much moist, so the garri rather absorbs the moisture from the sauce. You see this sauce right here. If you use it to eat white rice, if you know how tasty this sauce was, that's story for another day. So guys, we are going to add our vegetables, we are going to stir, and we are going to set aside some. I just removed some of the sauce and the vegetable just because I want to add it after I have added the garri. As I was adding the garri, I was adding something in me just held my hand. Stop! You know that thing that used to control us whenever we are adding salt, seasoning to our food, that thing that controls us and say, it's enough, don't add again. That was what controlled me. If I had added extra garri, it would have been more than our sauce. Guys, don't worry about the remaining garri. I'm a Nigerian girl, I've used it for a bit. Don't worry, don't stress yourself. After thoroughly mixing the garri or incorporating the garri with the sauce, I then added the sauce that I removed earlier and thoroughly stirred to combine. Guys, our garrifotor is ready. Our jollof garri is ready. At this point, I wished I even had more sauce to even add. I mean, the more sauce, the more juicy, the more tastier. Let me know how you like your garrifotor. Do you like it very moist or you want it crunchy? For me, I feel next time when I'm to prepare this meal, I will add in more sauce, and I'm going to make my sauce more juicy, with more of liquid, so that it's going to absorb into the garri. Guys, this tasted so good. All the vegetables were so crunchy and sweet. The chicken was so flavorful and delicious. In fact, everything was a 10/10. Let's give some accolades to Garri, because Garri has been saving life right from time immemorial. Do you remember when you were in boarding school? For those that went to boarding school, how Garri saved your life? What about when you were in the university? Do you remember how Garri saved your life? Let's talk about when you were even home. Yes, at a point in your life, Garri have saved your life. So let's give some accolades to Garri. This food tasted so delicious beyond my expectations. This was my first time trying it, and guys, anytime I have stew at home, garrifotor will not be accepted. I will do small garrifotor because this tasted so good. Aside eba, garri soakings, garrifotor, please, what else do they do with granulated cassava? Let me know in the comment section. If you have watched till this point and you haven't subscribed to my channel, why are you doing this to me? Why are you hurting me? Why are you hurting me? Please do well to subscribe to the channel. Mepacho, please. Ejo, bikonu. Which language should I use to beg you, to plead with you that you should please subscribe to the channel, turn on the bell notification, share this video with your family, friends, and loved ones, and suggest in the comment section some Ghanaian dishes that I can try out. I cannot wait to try out more. Thank you so much for watching. Like I always say, do not forget to always smile, because you're beautiful when you do. Bye.